That dude puts so much into it. I don't think I've ever respected anybody I play with more. I've never seen anybody I play with give so much of themselves to the team.
The Chiefs' universe flipped upside down in minutes. First up, Kansas City's season comes to a screeching halt after Patrick Mahomes suffers a devastating knee injury that instantly changes everything. Then, the Chiefs finally break their silence, confirming fears and laying out the grim reality ahead. And then it gets emotional as Travis Kelce's raw reaction to playoff elimination puts the heartbreak front and center. After that, the big question looms even larger, with Kelce's NFL future suddenly hanging in the balance following a brutal exit. And finally, the ripple effect hits home as Taylor Swift faces an unexpected birthday disappointment tied directly to Kelce's rough week. Nobody had this on their Sunday football bingo card, and yet here we are. What started as a tense, grinded-out showdown between the Chiefs and the Chargers suddenly turned into a full-blown nightmare scenario for Kansas City, the kind that makes a fan base stare at the TV in stunned silence while clutching their lucky jerseys. Late in the fourth quarter of a tight 16-13 loss, Patrick Mahomes did what Patrick Mahomes always did: scrambled, improvised, tried to turn chaos into magic. Except this time, the football gods looked away. As he rolled right under pressure and planted his left foot to get rid of the ball, his knee buckled, and the vibe in Arrowhead went from "maybe there's still hope" to "oh no, not like this." Insiders say the sight of Mahomes on the turf, clearly in pain, sucked all the oxygen out of the stadium and the locker room in one brutal instant. The news only got heavier after the game. An MRI later confirmed what everyone feared: a torn ACL in his left knee. Season over, curtains closed. The Chiefs immediately began mapping out surgery and recovery options, but the emotional damage had already been done. Mahomes, who had built a reputation for being almost unfairly durable, had rarely faced something this serious in 9 NFL seasons. Yes, he had dealt with a dislocated kneecap back in 2019 and played through all kinds of postseason pain since, but this was different. This was the kind of injury that forces everyone to stop pretending football is just entertainment and remember how thin the line really is. As those raw locker room emotions spilled into public view, the Chiefs didn't stay quiet for long and finally addressed the elephant doing cartwheels in the room. Not long after the game, the organization stepped out with a sober, straight-faced update, confirming what everyone already feared after seeing Andy Reid's instantly memeable "yeah, that didn't look great" reaction on the sideline. The mood around the team's message was less PR spin and more collective gut punch, the kind where nobody even pretends this is fine. The front office acknowledged their franchise star had suffered a major knee injury and made it clear the next steps involved doctors, surgeons, and a whole lot of calendars being stared at aggressively. The moment itself had already felt surreal. When Mahomes went down on that final possession, players from both teams reportedly dropped to a knee, not out of drama, but out of genuine concern. Backup Gardner Minshew was suddenly thrust into action, which is never how you want your night to go, and the comeback dream fizzled faster than a flat soda. From there, it turned into a waiting game, phones buzzing, locker room whispers spreading, and everyone bracing for the official word. Mahomes didn't hide from it either. Shortly after, he jumped online with a message that was painfully honest but still very on brand for him, acknowledging the hurt, admitting it stung, but making it clear he wasn't about to curl up and disappear. Instead, he leaned into faith, daily grind talk, and that familiar promise of coming back stronger, which Chiefs fans have basically tattooed on their emotional support blankets by now. Around the league, sources point out that knee injuries like this aren't the career death sentences they once were, but let's not pretend rehab is a quick weekend project. Recovery can stretch close to a year, instantly turning the Chiefs' timeline into a giant question mark with anxiety sprinkled on top. Will he be ready by the start of the next season? Will there be setbacks? Nobody's pretending to know yet. For now, Kansas City is officially in wait and cope mode, hoping modern medicine, patience, and Mahomes' famously stubborn work ethic can work their usual magic. And as Kansas City collectively holds its breath waiting on medical timelines and miracle recoveries, all eyes slide over to Travis Kelce, who looked like a man carrying the emotional weight of an entire era as he walked off the field. Sunday night wasn't just another loss for Kelce. It felt personal, heavy, and uncomfortably final. Cameras caught him heading toward the Arrowhead locker room with glassy eyes, waving off kids asking for autographs with a soft not right now energy that screamed, "I love you, but my soul is currently offline." For a guy who usually treats fan interactions like part of his cardio, that alone said everything. This reaction didn't come out of nowhere. The past few weeks had already been a mental grind for Kelce, who had been openly frustrated with himself after a rough outing against Houston, where one mistimed bobble turned into a momentum-killing interception. That moment reportedly stuck with him, looping in his head like an unskippable highlight reel. By the time Sunday rolled around, the pressure wasn't just playoff math, it was legacy math. Every snap felt like it mattered more, and unfortunately almost every bounce went the wrong way. On the field, Kelce still did what Kelce does, fighting for extra yards, throwing his body into traffic, and acting as the emotional spark plug whenever the offense showed a pulse. During the late push, he and Mahomes connected multiple times, briefly giving fans that dangerous thing called hope. Then everything unraveled. When Mahomes went down, Kelce's demeanor shifted instantly from competitive fire to visible concern. The game continued, but emotionally something clearly snapped. When Gardner Minshew stepped in, the vibe reportedly felt like someone hit pause on reality. It wasn't about disrespect or doubt. It was just the sudden awareness that this wasn't how any of this was supposed to go.
That dude put so much into it. I don't think I've ever respected anybody I play with more. I've never seen anybody I play with give so much of themselves to the team. And to not get the results is hard. But I have more confidence in him than anybody to come back and be better than ever.
Minshew battled, held things together for a moment, and then one interception later, the season door slammed shut. Just like that, Arrowhead went quiet, and Kelce's long walk off the field began. Now comes the part that has fans spiraling on couches, timelines, and group chats everywhere, what this all means for Kelce's future. The retirement rumors aren't new, but they've gone from background noise to full-volume debate. Kelce has hinted more than once that he's been thinking about life after football, even flirting with the idea after the Super Bowl loss earlier this year. That wasn't frustration talking, that was a veteran doing honest math on his body, his family, and his future. This latest heartbreak, paired with uncertainty around the quarterback position next season, has only fueled that speculation. Kelce has always been clear about one thing. He wants to give the Chiefs a fair shot. He's mentioned that any final decision would come before draft prep and free agency, so the team isn't left scrambling. But that was before everything changed. Now fans are wondering if the timeline moves up, fast-forwarded by circumstances nobody wanted. Social media, of course, did what social media does best. Immediately declared the end of an era with all the calm energy of a group chat at 3 a.m. Some fans confidently predicted Kelce would hang it up rather than come back without his longtime quarterback fully healthy. Others dramatically announced that sports fandom is emotionally abusive and they'd be taking a pottery instead. A few went full prophecy mode, insisting this chapter of Chiefs history has officially closed. Nothing is decided yet. Kelce isn't known for impulsive choices, even if he plays like a human wrecking ball. Behind the scenes, sources say he's processing everything: the loss, the mistakes, the injury, and the weight of being one of the last remaining pillars of a dominant run. Add in the fact that he's also navigating life in the spotlight like never before, and the emotional load is no joke. And while Kelce is quietly processing all of that weight, the emotional ripple didn't stop in the locker room and instead followed him straight into Taylor Swift's birthday week. The timing alone was brutal. Just a day after Taylor rang in her 36th birthday, she found herself watching yet another rough night unfold from the VIP box, pom-poms metaphorically ready, optimism freshly ironed, only for football chaos to show up uninvited again. If birthdays are supposed to be about cake, candles, and good vibes only, this one reportedly came with a side of sports heartbreak. Taylor was fully locked in at Arrowhead, cheering hard, living the supportive fiancé life, and probably thinking this was going to be one of those triumphant football girlfriend chapters. Instead, the game flipped the script, and the season-ending loss landed like an awkward party guest who won't leave. Watching from the suite as the Chiefs' night unraveled was not exactly the birthday encore anyone ordered, and the disappointment wasn't dramatic, just quietly heavy. the kind where you smile for the cameras but internally scream into a pillow shaped like a Lombardi trophy. This marked the second emotional gut punch in a short stretch for the couple. Just a week earlier, Taylor had shown up with Selena Gomez for a high-energy girls' night at another Chiefs game, turning the stands into a pop culture event. That night didn't exactly go according to plan either, leaving Kelce visibly frustrated and Taylor once again playing the role of supportive partner instead of celebratory wag. She never made it about herself, but back-to-back tough outcomes started to feel like the universe had beef. What really stung this time was the symbolism. A birthday weekend usually screams champagne, confetti, and maybe a victory lap. Instead, Taylor watched her fiancé walk off the field emotionally drained, with the season officially slipping away. She stayed composed, but the disappointment was obvious, not because of football fandom, but because watching someone you care about go through it hits differently. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.